Hey there, thank you for tuning in. I am going to get right into this because I'm not sure how well the signal is going to hold up. If you hear the background noise and everything, it's obvious that I am at the controls and I am cruising across the nation here on the Continental Cruiser. But I wanted to do this recording real quick because these thoughts were filling my mind, and of course, right now it's inconvenient for me to write, to put pen to paper. But I can talk, and I can tell you these things that I wanted to share because it happened again, and it happens to all of us. Sometimes you get on your social media or you see a message from a friend, and they're having these thoughts, these dark thoughts, or it happened to you. It happens to all of us where we come to a place where we feel that our life is just, it's no longer working. Maybe things would be better if we no longer existed. Maybe we should end it all. This is just not what we pictured, just not what we had in mind. But I'm here to tell you something today. And again, bear with me if I'm speaking somewhat at a rapid clip here, because I want to get it all in, lest the signal should die. And then I have to die, lack of a better term. But it happens, lest the signal gets cut off. As one who is constantly analyzing and studying human psychology, among other things, I've come to the belief that we often misinterpret the suicidal thoughts. And I don't think the thoughts in of themselves are necessarily a bad thing. In a way, perhaps it is necessary for growth. Follow me closely and listen to what I'm about to say here, because you see, maybe what's really going on is the life that we've been living is no longer the one we need to continue to live. What got us up to this point is not going to get us to the next point of where we're striving to be. A lot of people like lobster. It's a crustacean. I don't eat it. But do you know that a lobster, it's a soft, fuzzy animal inside this hard exoskeleton? The exoskeleton does not grow. The lobster is growing inside it, and it starts to feel uncomfortable. It starts to get a little pain, and that's when it's a signal to shed the outer shell, to break it up and to break free from it. And if you see that outer shell, it looks like a carcass. It looks like a dead animal. So perhaps the thoughts of suicide, it's time to kill the old you, but not physically, but perhaps even in an emotional and a spiritual sense. The old you needs to go away. The people that you may have surrounded yourself with that are no longer nurturing you or supporting you or helping you along your way, and it's no longer a mutually beneficial relationship, perhaps you need to shed them. Perhaps there's a job that you're on that's destroying you, that's crushing you. Perhaps you need to leave that behind. Perhaps the thoughts of suicide really are telling us that it's a signal for change, that we need to make a drastic change in our life in order to continue to progress. This lobster cannot grow until it sheds this exoskeleton, and it's a fairly violent process. I mean, it is breaking up a vital part of who it was. I mean, you see a lobster, what you see is the exoskeleton. It's essentially this lobster's entire identity, and it is about to destroy this thing so it can grow. At first, when the lobster shed, and you can look this up, it's basic marine biology. I'm a diver. A lot of you know I spend a lot of time chasing lobsters and other stuff underwater, doing photography and all of that. I haven't done it in a while. When the lobster first sheds its shell, it is very vulnerable because it's the soft, fuzzy body's there, and they usually hide for a while until the new shell is formed. Now think about that. You see, perhaps sometimes we need some time and some solitude. We need some time away from others while we're reforming ourselves and determining a new trajectory in life, where we want to go, where we're trying to be, where we've been, how we've gotten where we are. That's what the lobster does until the new shell forms a little bit bigger than the last one. So now you have the new and improved lobster, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. And this process continues as it grows. So the discomfort that it feels, unlike a human, we get a little headache, a little pain. We want to medicate it away and just find that kind of solution to it. And perhaps we misread what these signals from nature, from the universe really mean. If the lobsters had doctors, they would never grow, because the first sign of discomfort, there would be a pain-killing prescription, an opiate or something like that. He would take it, he wouldn't feel uncomfortable, and he would just stay in his little shell. I'm going to give you one more example from nature of how the growth process works at times. We've all seen, either you've seen a snake shedding its skin or you've seen the remnants of it. It looks like a body as well. It looks like a hollow shell of what once was. But what happens is the only way the snake can grow and get bigger and continue its natural course that nature intended for it is to literally shed its outer skin. And that process itself isn't necessarily smooth. I mean, this thing is writhing on the ground, scraping against rocks, just trying to break free from its own self, from its own skin that is no longer suiting it, no longer serving the purpose of the direction in life the snake is trying to go. And when it's all over, you see what looks like a body, a hollow shell there, but it is what once was. But the new creature, the new being, which resembles the old one, but is nothing like it because it's bigger, it's new, it's renewed, it's refreshed, he's slithering on and going about his merry way. So perhaps sometimes when we have these thoughts, these suicidal thoughts, these thoughts of we need to end it all, we do, but not in the physical life force sense of who we are, but what it is that we have become, where we have been, what has gotten us to where we are. We need to step back and just self-evaluate, self-assess, and cut off things, destroy things that have been holding us in, break free from that shell. The lobster sheds it by inner force that just exerts outward on it. We may have to pick up a hammer or an axe or a hatchet or something and just start smashing away to destroy what has been holding us in, what has been confining us, the box, the cage that is built up around us. I hope this has been somewhat helpful. I hope I wasn't talking too fast and the message has gotten across. I hope that audibly this actually transmitted and that my signal didn't get cut here. So anyhow, thank you for listening. I'm James McGarth, asking you, as I always do, what's up, Baltimore?